Hey. Alright, before we get into this topic, let me explain to you what you're about to watch. So if you're unfamiliar with my channel, you're just stopping by, you happened upon this video by chance. I cover Weekly Shonen Jump every single week, every series running in the magazine. Within those videos, I talk about each chapter from every issue of every single series. So a commenter by the name of JS1ASF suggested that I compile all of the reviews of one single series into a larger video. And I really like that idea. I think it's gonna be a nice way for people to go back and, if you want to, you know, rewatch a whole review in an easier way. If you just want to see a whole specific series and what I thought about every chapter, it'll be here in one video. It's also going to be a cool way for me, and maybe you as well, to see just the evolution of my style and what sweater I was wearing that week, or what I sounded like that week. I don't know, it's just a cool time capsule, and it's neat to be able to put it all into one video. I think it'll be fun. We'll see how it goes though. This is a thing I'm experimenting with, but regardless, I would like to do this from now on, assuming that these are viable. They are very low effort for me, so I can't see why I wouldn't want to do them. But let me know what you think of this format. In a few seconds, I'll be cutting to the whole review in order, and then we will resume at the end with another new segment where I will do a little post-mortem on the series and just talk about what I think about it now after having read it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off to myself from September of 2025, and we will go on the journey from there. I'll see you guys again at the end of this. Okay, everybody, welcome to Weekly Shonen Jump 2025, issue number 41. So of course, on the cover this week, we have a brand new series taking its debut, and that being a series last week we were calling Modulo, but now we know it as Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo? Modulo? It's kind of a weirder name. Mojuro makes more sense to me, but as we now know, this is an alien story, so we can infer that this is not supposed to sound like a Japanese word. It's probably supposed to be alien. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more about that series in just a moment. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 1, Special Grade Incident. So, JJK. I get to talk about JJK on this channel. I absolutely love JJK. You can see it displayed proudly on my shelf right here. It's one of my favorite series that has run in Shonen Jump, to be honest. I absolutely love JJK. I just think there's a lot to love about it. The characters are incredible, the story is really engaging and interesting, and the fights and power system is just immaculate. So to be able to step into this world like 60 years later is exciting. Like, I honestly, you know, because this leaked that it was the JJK sequel earlier in the week, so I knew before reading this chapter. Even then, I was thinking, like, okay, so is this like a direct sequel? Like, are we gonna get characters from the original series in here? And we do, kinda, but the main focus is on Yuta's children and their alien friend. So this is where we get our hook. We got aliens in JJK who also use curse energy, seemingly. Although our main alien character here seems to have some sort of different power that does seem to set them off, that something is different about him at the end. This third eye here, which, to be honest, doesn't really seem that far-fetched to me in this world. Like, I don't know if it's because he has the third eye that's making them question, like, what he is, or if it's because of his power. I don't really know. I guess it's the third eye, but I mean, have you seen Tengen from this series? That's a straight up alien. I guess Tengen wasn't like a known thing, so not many people saw him, but still, like, man, there's crazier things out there. So yeah, this was just a really, really wonderful chapter. I gotta admit, I really enjoyed it. It feels like JJK's back. You know, it's not Gege doing the art, which is a shame. I wish he was, but Yuji Iwasaki is pretty phenomenal. I gotta admit, I did really love their art during Cypher Academy. That was the best part of Cypher Academy to me, because I really didn't care about that series all that much. But this is, they knocked it out of the park. This looks phenomenal. It's capturing the JJK vibe and feel without mimicking it visually, because art-wise there really aren't a whole lot of similarities you can draw between Gege and Iwasaki, but still, bang up job. It looks amazing. You know, right off the gate, it was pretty jarring to know that the series takes place like 68 years after everything we know And and to even have like Yuta, like as an old man, we don't get to really see him, but just have him being old, mentoring his grandchildren, and then dying, and already learning that Maki died before. That's just, I don't know. It's whiplash. It makes you feel a certain way, but it also is nice to know that they all got mostly happy, fulfilling lives. It seems we don't get to see what happened of other beloved characters like Yuji and Megumi and stuff, but hopefully they had good lives too. We don't know if they're dead. They are slightly younger than Yuta, so maybe they're still kicking, but I kind of doubt it. But for what it is, as this new set of characters whose names I don't quite have down yet, I think it's the aliens like Maru, and then there's Yuka, is the daughter or the granddaughter, and the boy isn't coming to me right now, but I'll get there. Just give me a week or two. I'll probably get them next week, to be honest. I love this through line with the ring, and I love the sibling dynamic here. It's very funny, and it's very gay the way that they fight on sight in that one moment, and then immediately snap to like, all right, we got stuff to do, let's do it. It just feels so gay, and obviously he is writing it. This isn't something where it's just like an inspired sequel. Like it's not like a Toyotaro Dragon Ball situation. This is gay in the writer's chair 100%. And you can feel that for sure. It's very wordy. This chapter alone took me basically as long as it took to read the rest of the magazine. That's an exaggeration, but this took a while. This is probably a good 30-40 minute read for me, because I was really trying to grasp and understand this and soak in every detail, because it has a really great hook. Like you're just like locked in. You're like, oh man, okay, so this is a distant sequel. We got aliens, children of Yuta. Wow, what's this world? We're trying to like look in the background and see like where the world has gone, and then you lock in whenever you see like, oh look, they mentioned Yuji, they mentioned the Culling game, Sukuna. It's just fun. It's cool. I love sequel series like this that can just have fun, and the fact that this gets to be a limited series, is only about 3 volumes apparently, is awesome. I love that we're not going to drag this out to be a whole like Boruto or Dragon Ball Super. This is just a cool, distant epilogue, I guess, to show where this world goes. And that's not to say we can't backfill either. We could get stuff in the 68 years that we missed. There's probably plenty of stuff to talk about then. But I love this for what it is. This is going to be awesome. I really can't say a whole lot more than just my general impressions right now, because it's just, I mean, that's what first chapters are for, just general impressions and vibe of the series. But as we go along, I'm going to have a lot to say about this, because I'm really excited. This is, I'm very much into this. This is going to be a really good time, and I'm going to look forward to every chapter for as long as we have this. I think as far as first chapters go, this is about as good as you can get. This is fantastic. Just unfortunate that you can't really recommend this to somebody who hasn't read JJK. You can probably get something out of it, but it's not like they explain the power system, so you're probably going to be lost. But hey, you can still give it a shot, I guess. Maybe you don't mind being spoiled on like some end stuff from JJK, but just read JJK. It's not even that long. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, as I now know it to be called, Chapter 2, Deterrence. Another amazing chapter. I am loving this series so much. It's really just like, I never would have assumed a sequel to JJK would be like this, but it's perfect. This is something I never knew I wanted, but I definitely want it. I love it so much. I am just so hooked and interested in what's going on. I think introducing aliens to JJK sounds insane on paper, but it's actually so cool. Like, it's the best thing they could have possibly done, I think. And I love the 2 siblings a lot. They're really endearing main characters. Maru seems great too. We didn't get a lot of him at all this chapter, but I'm looking forward to seeing more of him soon. And just the biggest thing that's really hooking me is just the intrigue of the world itself. The world of JJK is so interesting, and it's something we didn't get to hone in on a whole lot in regular JJK. It was more action focused. We didn't get a whole lot of world building. It was more of a background element. Like, we got it, but it wasn't at the forefront. Here, it almost feels like the forefront, at least for now. Like, we're getting proper world building. We're learning about the past, things that happened, and it's not like explicitly stated, but you still have to imply some things about these past 60-some years. And that's what I think is really cool. It's not insulting the reader's intelligence. Like, we can gather things from how people are talking. And really, that's the only way to do things like this. With a 60-year time jump, you kind of just have to trust the readers a little bit, because you can't just tell us everything. That's a ridiculous thing to ask, especially for a limited series. But yeah, I just love everything about this. The art looks amazing. The character design's great. The story is really hooking me. So far, perfect. Seriously, no notes. I'm just loving it so much. I wish I could yap about it more, but I gotta keep this episode rolling, because my voice does have a time limit for today, I think, before it gives out. So I gotta carry on. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 3, Swimming Through the Forest. Really cool chapter. I like this a lot. Just kind of reeling back from all the world building and stuff of the previous chapters and honing in on the characters, specifically Maru and Tsurugi, but also just, the human aspect of the series in general. Because, as before last week, I was talking about how the series is having a larger focus on world building and the world itself. But to hone in, just get more of the human side of it is really nice. It's, another reminder that this is definitely still JJK. It has that same vibe, same tone, same feel. And yeah, I really love it. I think it does such a good job at what it's trying to accomplish here. I really have no notes. I think this is just a very, very well-made manga. I find myself just being so mesmerized by everything I'm seeing on the page, like the cool shark double page spread, and then just little moments between the characters, and the sweet thing with this tiger and this older guy. It's all just really well done, and it's hard to find any flaws or anything to even talk about, really, because it's just so damn solid. I have a lot of admiration for this so far. Yeah, great stuff. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 4, The Boy Who Kept Repeating. So guys, I've had JJK on the mind a lot lately, just because, a mix between Modulo, the anime coming back early next year, just general excitement around the series again. And I just love this series so much. It really is more important to me than I often realize. And just the fact that I have it weekly again. And it's not the characters I know and love, obviously, but it's the world and the vibe specifically and especially. It's that JJK vibe that I just adore. And this is a shining example of it. We have a very interesting and engaging story here with a weird thing happening. A kid who keeps showing up in first grade, and it's just such a cool hook, and to see it unravel in such a efficient way. Like, this is one 19-page chapter, and we get a mystery, and we get a half an answer to the mystery by the end of it, and just enough to let you be like, oh, okay, what the hell is this? And then we'll get the full answer next week. It's so cool. I love how this chapter ends. I love the whole build up to the reveals about it. It's just super, super cool. And I continue to be blown away by just the professionalism of this series, the consistency of the quality of it. It's really impressive and admirable, I think. Yeah, just super, super cool chapter. I love it so much. I love this series. Seriously. Call me a JJK dick rider if you want, but man, I just love it. I eat this shit up. So good. I can't wait for more. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 5, Senility. This is cool. I just kind of don't have anything to say about this chapter, which is unfortunate because I really liked it. I came out of it thinking to myself, what do I say right here in front of the camera? I don't know. I liked it. It was cool, but it's really just a bridge chapter. It's just action. Get to see characters in action, which is nice. I mean, the shonen battle manga, of course, we need to see that. But a book ends and book opens with Maru teasing something, and it's pretty interesting. I like this, his eye opens at the end. Look, that's such a cool shot, by the way. So something's going on here, but that's stuff for next chapter. This chapter itself, all I can say is I liked reading it, and it was cool to look at. Very cool art. I like this concept of just a senile old dude. Totally lost it. But beyond that, yeah, I don't know. It's just not much to say about it. I still really admire this manga, and I love reading it. It's very well made, but just not a particularly interesting chapter, I guess. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 6, Berserk. This is what it's all about. This is the classic example of a JJK fight and what makes JJK fights so appealing. It's hard to even put into words for me. I don't really know how to explain what is so appealing about the JJK fights. They're just so engaging. I just don't know a better way to put it. I can't specify it. It's just, it is what it is, you know. It's just good to look at. The choreography's next level all the time. This isn't Gege doing the art, but this artist, whose name I unfortunately forgot, Yuji Iwasaki, that's what it is doing a fantastic job in Gege's stead. I think this looks fantastic. I really loved this chapter. It was just, it brought me back, you know. This is the same feeling I had reading any other JJK fight. Specifically reminded me of like when Maki fought the dude, the sumo guy. I don't know why it specifically reminded me of that, because it really isn't similar at all, but that's just where my mind went when I read this. And I really like the new folds that they're bringing to the story with all this new Maru stuff going on. I think this will be really interesting. And I'm starting to understand like how this can be a smaller series, because it was kind of hard to grasp before, like, you know, how exactly you can tell like this whole story here in whatever, like 3 volumes or whatever it'll end up being. But I can kind of grasp it now. This just doesn't seem like it has to be a long story, you know. It's already moving at a much faster rate than, you know, let's say JJK was back when it started. There's a very clear path I see to getting to an end, even though it seems like a war is going to break out. But I feel like, honestly, this will be like another the merge type deal where just they'll talk about it, hype it up, but it just won't happen. I don't foresee a war actually breaking out. I think it'll somehow be circumvented. But we'll see. I don't know. JJK is a hard one to predict, so I don't know what will happen. But regardless, great stuff. I really enjoyed this chapter a lot. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 7, The Robbed. This chapter is not what I expected it to be at all, but in the best possible way. This was such a... Gege has a way with words. He really does. I think JJK, you know, it's hype moments and aura farming, right? That's JJK. It's just, it's fights and cool shit. But the thing that always drew me to it was when people would talk. There are some really, truly well done conversations that happen throughout the course of JJK. Really underrated moments. Like, you think, you know, Higuruma and Yuji. One of my favorite moments in the whole series is, it's a fight, technically, but it's mostly just talking. This isn't even a fight in any capacity. I guess you could say it's psychological warfare in some regard, but this is just 2 characters who, honestly, we haven't gotten much from in this series yet, Yuka and Cross here, talking. It's just an entire chapter of them talking about life and death, coexisting as different species, taking and giving. It's so incredibly well done, and I just have so much admiration for it here. This is my favorite chapter so far of this series, and it's added such an interesting layer to it that I just wasn't expecting it to have at all. So I just loved it. I think this is an incredible chapter. Very well done. After the week, Akane's reign has come to an end, and I now make room for Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 7, The Robbed. Amazing chapter. I was very moved by this conversation that these 2 characters had, and I just loved it. It really brought me back to my favorite chapters of original JJK, the talking moments, whenever they just allowed characters to talk to one another. It's even, you know, late game stuff is rough in JJK, but I even love the chapter where Yuji gets to talk to Sukuna in his domain. I think that's amazing stuff. Gege is just very good at writing conversations between people, and this is no exception. This is some of his best work, honestly, in that field. Great stuff. Loved it a lot. And I still love Akane. Just the reign has come to an end for now, but her rise will come once again, I'm sure. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 8. Let's see if I can get this, because I have to say this several times, considering this is a part 1. Dura Val Bobidi Mechika. or Mekika. Part 1. That's going to be a rough one. So, a classic, we got our first JJK Part 1, iconic. This is something that Gege loved to do. He loved multi-part stories to the point where basically every chapter title in the entire series is a part of something else. Shibuya Incident, Shinjuku Showdown, Hidden Inventory, Cursed Wu Must Die, a bunch of shit. He hated, I guess, coming up with new chapter titles is the better way to put it. But yeah, so we're getting into a flashback now with the twins, which is cool to see. I mean, we're getting alien lore here, which, to be honest, I can't say I'm like super interested or invested in, but this is one of those things where as it progresses, I'm sure I'll be more and more into it. I just got to give it time to breathe. This first chapter here, nothing crazy, I gotta admit. I wasn't like locked in or anything. It was just exposition, which isn't bad. It's necessary, especially for introducing a concept this new to JJK in this, much detail. But yeah, I mean, I like the stuff we did get here. Just not a whole lot for me to talk about because, I don't know, it's really just exposition and lore, which isn't something I often talk about a whole lot on this channel. I kind of like to just talk about how a chapter made me feel. I don't really like to get into lore details and speculation. Like I didn't mention Mahito last week because I don't know what the hell am I going to say about it. I'm not going to bring anything new to the table about Mahito in this series. But it does suck to have last chapter be so interesting and have me want to see the story continue forward, and now we're just kind of ripped back to the past. But it's fine. I'm sure this will tie together nicely. This is probably like the hidden inventory equivalent for this series, I'd have to imagine, where it's a necessary piece to the grander narrative being told here. We just can't really see the whole purpose of it this early on. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 9 Duravalbobidi Mekika Part 2. I'm gonna struggle with that one. Duravalbobidi Mekika. Duravalbobidi Mekika. I'll get better. So starting off, I really love the 4-panel theater section here. I remember with Nice Prison, I talked about how much they sucked ass. Here's a good one. These are good. This is actually a really funny gag here. I laughed. So good on a battle shonen for making me laugh harder than a gag manga. Great stuff. That's how you know Nice Prison was really fucking good. Chapter itself, I don't have a whole lot to take away from this. I did actually quite enjoy this, but it's all lore and alien lore to be more specific. So I don't really know what to say about something like this, unfortunately. I'm not super well equipped to talk about like alien politics, but I thought it was cool. The through line was really nice, and I like these characters that we're following. It's definitely making me understand them a lot more, which is obviously an important aspect of this series. Just a little observation I wanted to make, which I don't usually do on this show, things like this, but I had previously talked about how Tengen was very alien-like and how seeing a person with a third eye shouldn't be that crazy when something like Tengen exists. I just want to say, this one alien with the chin rolls, a little Tengen-like, just a little, just a bit. Getting some Tengen vibes there. Does that mean anything? Maybe. But overall, pretty good chapter. I liked it. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 10, Majority Vote. Very high on the TOC. It's #1, so that's awesome. I mean, to be expected, this is basically just JJK again, and obviously that always got good TOC placement, so not very surprising, but it's still nice to see that people are digging this. So this was a classic Gege Yapathon. We have so much text, it's actually insane, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that I am happy to hear about, because I mean, unlike the last couple chapters where it was flashbacks and alien happenings and stuff that I'm not super invested in, I'm sure it's important and matters, and I did like it for what it was. This is more my speed. Like, this is things I understand and know well enough to understand the significance of the information I'm getting. Obviously, biggest thing is Yuji. He's presumably going to end up being in this series. He's also very much alive, and his appearance is still young. We only see his mouth, but Still looks young. I assume that's because he's a whatever it's called, death womb, cursed womb painting, death painting, whatever the hell, I forget. So he probably doesn't age like a normal human being. So he's out there somewhere, and we're gonna go find him, I guess. That's a big deal here. I assume he will end up being a part of the story here in the coming chapters. I don't know how much longer the series is gonna last. I mean, if it was going for like a 3-volume run, then it would probably be ending in the next like 10 weeks. But if it's gonna be longer, like limited series could mean anything. This could be like 50 chapters. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I can't really tell how long this series can be. But beyond that, obviously very exciting that Yuji is, even just his name being brought up is exciting, but the fact that we're basically being promised that he will be in this at some point is very, very exciting. But I really like all the character stuff here. The interactions at the end is all fun, and yeah, just, you know, it's nice to see the characters being characters. It's definitely one of Gege's strengths in writing, is giving the characters time to show off their personalities. Definitely a lot of text, though. I am very surprised that Gege hasn't gone on to write a bunch of JJK light novels. I think he would have a lot of fun with that. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 11, Cultural Exchange. Not a whole lot to say about this chapter. I actually really liked it. I thought it was just a fun read. A lot of good little character moments. I like the moments of them getting the octopus with one tentacle. Very fun. But obviously, I think the biggest talking point is the ending here, where we're starting to build conflict. And I'm sure that this is artificial conflict, and this will have some kind of unfortunate payoff, I'm sure. As unfortunate as that is, because this whole chapter, you know, things were going well. But wouldn't be a story without some drama, so it's gotta happen. Good chapter, though. I enjoyed it. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 12, Inhuman Makyo. Very, very cool to see Tokyo in the current day. I thought that was awesome. And this whole thing that was brewing, you know, primarily last week, but I guess a little before that too, comes to a head here, and really, really good payoff. I really like the two, like, you know, the one human and the one alien that are thinking the same kind of thoughts, like, oh, why should we really even try? Like, why bother with all this? It's cool to see that like both sides has the one guy. It's reminding me a lot of, I guess minor spoilers for Vinland Saga, but it's reminding me a lot of the final arc of Vinland Saga, where it's a similar kind of thing. We just have a tension brewing, and it's just a few, like a loud minority that is speaking out against the peace. Yeah, now with the Abra coming in here at the end, this shit is gonna pop off, I think. Something big's gonna happen. Or maybe he's gonna step in and just stop all this and tell everybody to shut the hell up. I don't know. Regardless, a big fight was about to break up, and he did stop it dead in its tracks, so hey, let's see what happens. Don't know what his intentions are currently, but man, cool ass chapter. Really, really good stuff. I thought this was a brilliant way to raise the stakes and get the tension moving. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 13, Acceptance. This was amazing. I really love the tension building in this chapter. We basically get to see everything I wanted to after what happened last chapter. We see the fallout. It's a brief flashback of it, but it's pretty much all you need to see. Just a very effective use of page time, I think. We got everything we needed to out of this, and the gradual building of tension was super well done. Also, you know, just a little cameo. Nothing really to talk about from it, but it is nice to see Nobara again. I thought that was cool. We don't really see her. We just kind of get the vague shape of her with an eye patch. She has a cat. That's cool. We do learn that, in fact, Yuji can't age. So I was right about that. Who knows, like, how long it's been like that? Maybe, like, does he still look exactly the same as he did as a teenager? Maybe. I don't really know. Of course, ending off with Yuka now, looking very much like Yuta. Like, holy shit. I like, when I flip the page, because I read here, like, I'll show you, I read, like, you know, the 2 pages back to back like that. So when I flipped the page to that, I looked over real quick and I was like, what the hell, Yuta? Are we getting like a flashback? But no, that's Yuka. It just really, really looks like Yuta. Which, I mean, obviously makes sense, but like, wow. That's him. This is bound to go poorly. Low-key death flags? Even though I was thinking like she'd get cured of her cancer, but it's not cancer, whatever it was, the tumor, and she'd be fine. But now I'm thinking she's actually going to die in combat. Unless she's saved. Let's see. Maybe Yuji will have like a save the day hero moment. But I don't know. I really don't know. And why her is my question. Why is she the one being picked? I feel like there should be better choices. I don't know. This is very, very interesting though. I really, really love this chapter all around. Just, you could really feel the stakes rising and the tensions brewing. It feels so like natural and real too. It's very expertly done. So fantastic chapter. Really, really love this one. This was a really good issue actually. I thought it was firing on all cylinders. Pretty much every chapter was pretty damn good, which actually did make it quite challenging when picking chapter of the week. But as always, I figured it out. And my chapter of the week this week goes to Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 13, Acceptance. Maybe a bit of a surprise, I don't know, but this, I think, impacted me the most this week. There was some really good ones. I even kind of considered Hematen, but didn't quite get there for me. It was really good. I was really surprised by it, but surprise shouldn't equal Chapter of the Week, I don't think. But this, through and through, just, I love that tension building. I love the conflict brewing. I love the feeling I got reading this chapter from start to finish. It took you on a roller coaster and it ended with something really unexpected and a, cool moment with a legacy character too, to add to that. But even without that moment, which is ultimately it's just kind of fan service, sort of, kind of, whatever, it would have been an amazing chapter regardless. Really good stuff. Again, a lot of other great stuff. Came very close with a bunch of other things, but Modulo came out on top this week. Good job. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 14, An Older Brother's Duty. Fantastic chapter. This series is phenomenal. I am really enjoying it, especially now that we've gotten like really into the weeds on it. It was really nice to learn more about why Yuka was the one chosen for this duel. It makes a lot more sense than it previously did. And in addition to that, this whole conflict now with Tsurugi and Maru is so well done. I was very impressed with how their whole confrontation was written. It's just so natural and seamless. Like every bit of this conflict that has brewed in the past few chapters is just perfection. It's like the best tension building stuff I've seen in a while. It's perfect. Seriously. It's so good. And it all comes to an end here with this final page, which really, really channels Gege artwork here. It looks like straight up like his artwork, aside from, shading differences and such. It's a little more detailed than his art would be, but paneling and the facial expressions especially, and the poses as well, so Gege. It's crazy. It's so well done. I loved this chapter. Great work. This series is on a roll. I'm loving it so much. And at this point, it definitely seems like we're going to be getting more than 3 volumes worth of content, considering the 3 volumes cutoff would be coming up pretty damn soon at like 4 chapters, I think. So it'll extend a little past that. I feel like this will probably get into like the 20s in terms of chapters, total chapters. And I'm all for it. Take as long as you need. I'm loving this. Alright, everybody, it's time to talk about Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 3. JJK Modulo takes the cover this week, and it looks amazing. It's kind of weird to see the main 3 of them together like that again, though, given what is happening in the story right now, but it looks awesome. This is a fantastic cover. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 15, The Forbidden Technique Unleashed. First of all, before I talk about this incredible chapter, this color spread, dude, that's peak. And this chapter is phenomenal. So even before Maharaga, which we'll get to, this stuff with Yuka is incredibly sad. It made me very emotional, that scene where she's looking at, I don't know this guy's name, just one of the like attendants or whatever they are, and she's thinking it's Tsurugi, and that poor guy tearing up about it, apologizing. That's rough. That is so incredibly sad. I was already really capturing my attention this chapter and making me realize that, okay, this is a special one. And then, well, I guess before Maharaga we get Wee Wee, which is crazy. Why does he look like that? How old is he? Like, he aged like shit. He was really young before, And we've seen, I guess, like a glimpse of Nobara, who was older than him, and she looks a hell of a lot better than this. He aged like shit, man. What the hell happened? But that was interesting. I definitely wasn't expecting to see that, but there you go. And then, of course, Yuka coming in and summoning Maharaga with this treasure I summoned, the classic, you know. Iconic. Oh, it's so cool. I was not expecting this at all, and now we're gonna get like basically Sukuna versus Maharaga too. This is like the same kind of thing. I'm so insanely excited to see how this turns out. I mean, this is already amazing to see Maharaga now adapting, as the narrator says, for the first time in history towards extraterrestrial curse techniques. Dude. Wow. Like, this is amazing. This is so cool. I did not expect Maharaga to show up in this, honestly. I should have expected it because it's such an easy pull. You know, that's a thing that you can bring in no matter what point in the timeline you're in. This is amazing. This is so cool. And it's also making a hell of a lot more sense why Yuka was chosen. I mean, they explained it more last week as well, and that made sense, but this is now really making sense. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, the real fight is Maharaga. But they probably also expect him to beat Maharaga. I don't know if Maharaga has a gender, beat it. So maybe there's also an additional plan after that. I don't know. This is all insane. I love it so much. This was an incredible chapter. My jaw was on the floor, and again, the Yuka stuff at the beginning was also fantastic. I don't want Maharaga to completely overshadow that because that was a very special moment as well that I think is really going to go under a lot of people's radar because of what else happened in this chapter, but do not forget about that amazing Yuka moment. That was so well done. Very effective. But one chapter very much stood out against the crowd, like comically so. This was the easiest chapter of the week of my life. Chapter of the week this week, of course, goes to Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 15, Forbidden Technique Unleashed. Perfect. No notes. Absolutely phenomenal chapter. I don't even know, I don't have the words to say about it. This was just incredible. All the way through. Every scene, every page. Perfect. Incredible. That's all I got. It was just too good. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 16, Malicious Light. Well, what more can be said? This was just awesome. Like, I'm not gonna have a whole lot of substantial things to say about this chapter, but damn was it cool. Obviously, this is very much channeling the previous Maharaga fight. Well, I guess there were multiple, but the big one. Well, just two? I guess two, technically, but one of them was a team fight. Anyways, you know, Sukuna versus Maharaga, the big one, the one that everybody remembers. Very reminiscent of it, taking some same beats from it, and it's just as cool, to be honest. It's so sick. I just love seeing Maharaga do anything. It's such a cool force of nature that I love seeing. And then the Tsurugi and Maru stuff at the end is also very strong. I'm really enjoying this. I can't wait to see where this goes. It's so good. Everything about this series is fantastic right now. I can't stress it enough. It is just such an amazing read. I'm having such a great time with it right now, especially now that we're in the thick of it. Like, this is kind of the stuff I was imagining happening whenever the series first started, the things I was really looking forward to seeing, and here we are. JJK fights are back, and they are just as peak as they've ever been. So cool. I love this a lot. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 17, Chaos and Harmony. I find it funny, first of all, how this color page has nothing to do with the chapter because there is no progress on the Dabra and Maharaga fight at all in this chapter. But what we get instead is a lot of good stuff, man. I don't even know where to begin. Another Yuji panel. Awesome to see. Love that. Just a simple line. It doesn't matter. Hard as fuck. Hell yeah. And then some of the coolest looking action we've seen so far. Oh, dude. Insanity. Like, it just looks so good. The action in this series is phenomenal. It's beautiful. Man, I can't get enough. I could look at this stuff for hours. This double page spread here, the pose, the destruction, the facial expressions. It's immaculate. This is a masterfully done manga. It's blowing me away how good this shit is. And Rika is back. And it's perfect, dude. She still has like a funny attitude too, being like a cocky little brat. Love it. And this fused for man, this everything. It's peak. It's so peak. This is so good. This is everything I could have wanted. I think it's really cool that Tsurugi is actually the one that ends up using the ring. I hope somehow, some way, I hope Yuka ends up using it as well. It would just feel so cool to see Yuka, who looks so much like Yuta, use Rika. I don't know. It'd be really neat. And that's also who should have it anyways. But oh my god, it was so good. I loved this chapter so much. It was just so fun. It's everything I could have wanted. And yes, you know, this series is in a weird spot because all of this is riding on the coattails of JJK. So if this was its own series, none of this would hit as hard. But I just got to accept it. You know, this is a sequel to JJK, and it's damn good at being what it is. I'm not going to let it being a sequel series take away from how quality this manga is. It doesn't detract from anything. It's not like in JJK's shadow or anything. It is standing on its own while being a sequel to another manga. Incredible. I have nothing but praise for it right now. It's on a hot streak. This is some legendary stuff we're seeing right now. Get on it, guys. Come on. If you're not reading it, jump in. What are you waiting for? But of course, one thing did stand out amongst the rest, and this week it goes to Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 17, Chaos and Harmony. Sorry, it's on a hot streak. We're in one of those hot streak eras. This happened last year with Akane Banashi, and maybe we're on another hot streak here. I don't know if it keeps up that same quality in these coming weeks and nothing else rises up to that level. Hate to say it, but JJK might be on a hot streak here. This is just too good. I gotta give it up. This is definitely the most fun I've had with a chapter this week. I loved it. I do want to give a little shout out to Someone Hurts. I did actually consider that one for a second because I really did love that chapter, but dude, Modulo, I'm sorry. It's just so good. I'm sorry to Someone Hurts fans. It almost got it. I gotta let you know that. I normally don't do that, but I have to mention I really was close to giving it to Someone Hurts, but come on. Did you see that chapter of JJK? Holy shit, man. It's peak. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 18, One Who is Capable. Another week, another banger Modulo chapter. Loved it. We get both fights this time, which is cool to see. We got a pretty, I guess not even split, but it felt even. But in terms of page count, I don't think it was even, but we get to see both the Maru and Tsurugi fight and Dabra and Maharaga, mainly focusing on the Dabra, well actually specifically Dabra. We get a lot of Dabra thinking to himself in this chapter, which I think is really cool. It's really nice to flesh out this character a little more because he definitely needed a little push for me to make me more interested in him other than just being a really powerful guy. But now I have a lot more respect for him. I guess not respect, but I don't know what the word would be. I like him more. That's all I could really muster to say about it. But he's very cool. Action in it is incredible as always. Looks fantastic, and I really like how we're moving into a new stage of their fight, the Dabra and Maharaga fight, with this newfound resolve from Dabra. So turning the tables, see how it goes. I'm sure he's gonna win. I think he could lose. Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. This fight truly. Both of these fights could go either way, and I think that's what's so interesting and engaging about reading these. I don't know who's going to win either of these fights. Narratively, either character on either side winning makes sense, and a story can still be told with the results of said winner. Exciting times. I love this series. Can't wait for next week. Amazing chapter, as always. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 19, Rapid Strikes. Okay. Before we get to the thing at the end, obviously that's the big thing to talk about, but let me talk about the first part first. I really, really love what this fight is doing for Dabra. He's becoming such a more interesting and likable character to me. It's insane. Just from this one fight, I'm learning so much about him that I wasn't getting before. And you know, it also works because we're literally seeing him develop as a person here. Like, this fight is changing his life. His whole perspective of the world is changing because of this fight. I gotta talk about this page. This like serene like dance thing going on where it's Dabra and Maharaga in like a dance. It's almost like they're in love with each other. I love that. That is what a page that is. Holy shit, that was amazing. Great chapter for Dabra. But then Yuji. All right, he's here. There it is. We've been waiting for it, and there it is. He's here. We don't see his face yet, but it's coming any chapter now. He will be a part of the story from this point on. He has a role to play. Don't exactly know what yet, but he's here now. And it's interesting. I don't want to like psychoanalyze it too much right now because there really isn't much I can gather from what we know, but it is interesting how he says that he told him this would happen, even though he didn't say it out loud, according to him. Very interesting. Piercing blood. Fuck yeah. That's so cool to see him use that. Shout out to Choso. Great stuff. This is an amazing chapter. I don't have much to say about Yuji at this very moment, but just seeing him is extremely exciting, and I love that moment with him. But we don't know the larger picture here. This is just a hype moment. There's really not much substance to gather from this. So let's wait and see. But the rest of the chapter that actually was fully fleshed out, the Dabra stuff, incredible. I loved it. This was a really, really good chapter all around. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 20, Old Soldiers Never Die. Guys, I screenshotted damn near every page of this chapter. Man, what a chapter. Oh my god, dude. I don't even know where to begin. I love this so much. I like just about everything about this was completely perfect. I have no notes. Dude, I seriously don't know where to begin with talking about this. It was just so good. Yuji is incredible. I love what is happening with his character. He's become so like nonchalant. He's like, in a way he's like Gojo, but not really. He's like this kind of, he has the same presence where Gojo, you know, he was this guy everybody feared. He was capable of anything to the point where, I mean, the villain group had to just seal him away completely. They couldn't even kill him. They just had to seal him so he wouldn't get in the way because they knew they wouldn't stand a chance against him. But Yuji's like this kind of mediator. He'll get involved if he has to. He will make sure that things go right. He's not going to let the world like fall into chaos or get destroyed or something. He will step in, but he wants others to step up too. Like, he doesn't want to just take care of the world's problems. He's so nonchalant about it. He's like, yeah, I guess. If she loses, I'll step in and deal with that. If curses break out, I got it. And it's just, yeah, I mean, he's got it. There's no arguing that. He'll be fine. He'll win. Also confirming he does have Dismantle, which is something I kind of figured he did. It just makes sense. He had it before, and yeah, I mean, he probably completely mastered it now. So he inherited Sukuna's curse technique. Probably completely, unless he just has Dismantle, which maybe, but I kind of doubt it. And beyond Yuji, which, I mean, that is the main talking point of this chapter. He was so good. But we also have Tsurugi and Maru finishing their fight, I think, finishing at least. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but it seems to be the end. And, I mean, it could... We'll see, actually. I don't know. It could still go into something else. But regardless, what we got from that fight in this chapter was very good. It's just, Yuji kind of stole the spotlight. He's... Oh, dude, everything about him. We finally saw his eyes, too. And it's kind of sad. He just looks so empty. I feel terrible for him. Also, one other thing I want to mention, the little 4 coma thing they do at the beginning. We got a Todo mention, and you hear that everybody hates him except Yuji. Damn, what the hell happened to this guy? I wish we could see him, but that's definitely not in the cards. At least he's alive. That's nice, I guess. But phenomenal chapter. Everything I could have wanted. This is... Oh, dude, I can't wait to see this animated one day. It's gonna be ridiculous. There's so much shit going on in these 19 pages. Incredible. Of course, as always, one chapter reigned above all others, kind of. It's really damn close, but my chapter of the week this week is gonna be Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 20, Old Soldiers. Again, guys, this was an incredibly hard choice. I don't like to talk about runner-ups on this series. I just want there to be one clear winner. Forget the others. They lost. They don't deserve to be talked about. I talked about them already. Only the winner gets extra conversation. So go back and you can figure out what my other picks were. There were so many. It would be pointless to even mention them all, but a lot of series came close to taking it, but I'm going to give it to JJK because I mean, this is about our main character of the main series, okay? And this was perfect. I really, really love what they're doing with his character. It's very bold, very unique. A unique avenue to go with a main character. It's kind of like Luke Skywalker coded, like Last Jedi Luke Skywalker a little bit. Not really, but kind of, sort of. Just kind of like a blasé, like not really giving up, but just sort of going through the motions. He's done it all. He's experienced so much. He's used to all this shit. He's like, yeah, we got aliens now, whatever. I got it if you really need me, but I hope you guys can figure it out on your own. It's great. It's just perfect. It's very sad, obviously. I hate that this is what's become of him. I hate that this is his fate, but that's still our Yuji. That's still him. And obviously the stuff with Tsurugi and Maru was also amazing. Incredible chapter. So many others were just the same level, but gotta give it up for this week. This was a really, really hard choice. I gotta drive that home though. This was hard, but got there. This is my pick. Congrats, JJK. Modulo. You win. Sorry to the losers, but maybe next time. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 21, The Awaited One Arrives. What a chapter. Obviously, I'm in love with the series. I think it's fantastic. It can do no wrong at this point. And this is just further exemplifying that. I love opening the chapter with this conversation between Maki and Tsurugi. Obviously, as a huge Maki fan, this really meant a lot to me, and also having just watched the Zenin Clan Massacre in the anime recently, very fitting timing, feels intentional, and the seeming death of Tsurugi here is absolutely gut-wrenching. Maru's reaction to it is horrific. This is so ridiculously sad. It's something he can't even really wrap his head around. This whole conflict is incomprehensible. And regardless, he had that drive to fight, and this is where it got him. It's an awful thing. So on pretty much all fronts, we get developments that are major. So we had that for the Maru and Tsurugi thing. I hope Tsurugi pulls through. Man, that would suck if he's dead, but I get it. But I'm hoping he pulls through. And for Dabra and Maharaga, oh, domain expansion. Other world, between darkness and light, reverse transcendence. Holy shit. And also just Maharaga adapting to his very existence. What an awesome thing. Oh my god. Incredible. And then Yuji. And Mahito. Holy shit. I knew this was coming. It was set up a while back. But to actually see it is a whole nother thing. This is great. Very minimal interactions so far. I mean, he just showed up, but everything we get is that's Mahito. I love it. I love ending the chapter on that horrified look on his face, or I don't know if horrified is the right way to say it. Just anguish or extreme confusion and disdain. Really curious to see where this goes. I mean, kind of have it spelled out for us, but I wonder if Mahito is going to try to put up any kind of fight. Kind of doubt it, but we'll see. I think it'd be cool. It would be a little purely fan service, but I'll still take a Yuji Mahito rematch, even if it'll be one-sided as hell. Another amazing chapter. Absolutely loved it. It's just so cool that we have such big developments on like all three storylines happening. It's really satisfying. As always, can't wait for more. Amazing chapter. I feel like we're kind of getting near the end. There's probably not a whole lot left, which is a little sad, but I mean, it's going to go out with a bang, so whatever. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 22, Pathway of Souls. Ridiculous. This is just so damn cool, man. This is everything I could have wanted. Honest to God, I think I screenshot every single page. I love this. I love getting to see Yuji interact with Mahito again, and just Mahito being such a shit as per usual, and even getting the fight. I wasn't sure if this fight was going to happen. I kind of figured it probably would, and it does. It's just a very one-sided fight, but that's how it should be. Yuji passed him up years ago. So him coming back now in this state, no chance. He doesn't even get to use his domain, which is amazing. Of course, this stunning double page spread, dude. Wow. My jaw actually hit the floor when I got to this. This is insane. We're eating good, bro. This is some good shit. And the line, I like kind of got chills where Yuji says, "Damn, were you always this weak?" Oh my god. Yuji's just the goat, bro. Beyond that, though, I did also really enjoy the conversations that Yuji and Maru shared about the intricacies of their plan. I thought that was actually super interesting and conveyed in a really engaging way, which surprised me because it's not like drawn particularly interestingly, but it was just a really fascinating conversation and moral dilemma that I don't think is exactly figured out yet. Because this last line that Yuji drops here kind of surprises Maru. So we'll see how this goes. This is really, really interesting stuff, though. I loved this chapter. Just the whole way through. It was a dream come true. This was just so damn cool, man. Didn't even know I wanted this, but here it is, and it's so cool. That's this whole series in a nutshell, but I am so glad we have it. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Chapter 23, Ritual of Harmony. Longest amount of time I've spent on one chapter in a hot minute, but it was worth it. This is a really interesting conversation about the moral dilemma of what they are trying to do here, and I found it to be really interesting all in all. I don't have anything substantial to say about it because, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of just technical mumbo jumbo. It is thematic. Like, there are themes being discussed here as well, but nothing that's like super interesting to me. The funniest part about this chapter is the fact that somehow, against all odds, Gege still managed to get Toji in a panel. The stuff at the end is really nice, seeing them all come together. It really was a good chapter. I just kind of don't have a whole lot to say about it, unfortunately. By the way, the color page at the beginning was absolutely incredible. That is the best one yet. That is so sick. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 24, Array of Hope. So that chapter title is very accurate because it kind of sums up how I feel about this chapter as well. This is going to be a very boring review of this chapter. So I apologize for that. It's probably going to be pretty short as well, because this is the most like wait and see chapter I've ever read. It doesn't really give us a whole lot. There's some funny moments, some good, nice moments. Yuka recovering, very cool. And Dabra being like, all right, I'm chief now, but yeah, I just kind of quit immediately. I don't know about politics. That was funny. But then we get into a political discussion and kind of lose it a little bit because the alien politics aspect of this series is not something I've been particularly engaged with ever since that flashback from earlier on. Not the most interesting stuff in the world to me, but because of the nature of this, I kind of just need to see next chapter to know what this chapter is even trying to say, because I don't know what kind of ending we're going for quite yet. It's really completely up in the air. I don't know where we're going. So I'm kind of viewing this as like a two-part chapter where I can barely even form any kind of solid opinion on this one until I read the next one. But hey, it's nice to see Panda again. I wonder if that's going to have any kind of significance. Maybe not. I don't know. It might just be like a little conversation while Yuji's going to get something else that's locked in this vault wherever he is. I don't know. Maybe it's like a cursed object storage unit. Yeah, fine chapter. Not as exciting as it's been. Totally fine. Serviceable. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, final chapter, A Bright Future. Series is come and gone. This was a great run. I had such a blast reading this series every week. But did it stick the landing? So, I have complicated feelings about this because, yeah, I think this is a good ending. Like, I don't feel like it's bad by any means. It's not like unsatisfying. It leaves a little to be desired. We don't like fully explore every concept that I feel was set up, but we got enough out of it for my liking. I do like that we get this nice conversation with, but by the way, hold on, before we get to the chapter, this color spread is awesome. I love just seeing all the characters in color all together. Every character that we've seen in this entire run. Literally, even the shark guy. Very cool. Anyway, I like that we get this conversation between Yuji and Nobara. We get Yuji with the hood down finally, get to see his cool hair. He actually does look a little older, so he must have aged a tad bit after the end of the JJK, maybe, or he just changed his hair. I don't know. It's a different art style plus a different hairstyle, so maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on itself. But that conversation was lovely, even though it confirmed that Megumi is dead. That was a bummer. That was very sad. I would have loved to have him here, but I respect the fact that he is dead. I think that's a good decision, sort of. I guess that's not the best way to put it, but it just makes the world feel more real. Because, like, yeah, I mean, not all three of them aren't going to be alive. There's just no way. It doesn't, life doesn't work like that. Life isn't that kind. So I like that it's just the two of them. Even though I wish Megumi was here, I very much respect the fact that Megumi is actually just gone. So that's the big highlight, that scene for me, that conversation. And the stuff with the kids, you know, and the stuff with our main kids that we followed throughout the series is nice. It doesn't feel as final as I wanted it to, which is weird because it should feel more final than it is. We have a world full of promise now, sorcerers are pretty much gone except the ones that already exist, so we just gotta ride it out, defend the world until all of cursed energy's gone. It's a cool concept. I think it's a nice ending for pretty much all of JJK. You know, this works as an ending for both its own story and JJK as a whole, and even the whole cycle. Like, you know, someday somebody might eat Yuji and start the whole Sukuna thing all over again, except it'll be a lot nicer version of Sukuna. Yeah, I don't know. It worked for me. It's just, it did leave a little to be desired. I do, in hindsight now, I do think having sort of an anti-climax for the finale was a little odd. Like, we didn't get to finish Maharaga versus Dabra, which, you know, you can argue that fight was probably never going to actually finish, because it's just, that fight was going to go on forever. I still would have liked to see them try to finish it though, but we got a good amount from it. We did get a whole like normal fight with Maru versus Tsurugi, and I think, you know, as just a thematic conclusion for JJK, I think this works. It's all about hope for the future, hope for the next generation, which is what, you know, Gojo kind of passed down to Yuji, and now Yuji's passing on, well, arguably to himself still for another like 300 years, but he is still helping now. He's bringing himself back into the fold. He's part of the equation. He's going to help these kids get to a point where they can do something, defend the world from the last bit of cursed spirits that will exist. That's nice. Pretty solid ending. Not perfect, but good enough for me. I'm satisfied with this series. I had a great time. I do wish it was a little longer. We could have fleshed some stuff out more. It is what it is. I assume we're going to get some bonus material in the final volume as well, so that'll be nice. It'll help flesh it out a little more. Great series, great run. I'm sad it's gone, but I'm happy to have said that I covered every single chapter. There's footage of me on the internet talking about every single chapter of this series. It's been a short journey, but a great one. Had an incredible time with this series. I hope this isn't the end of Gege's work. I'd love to see him write more. And same with Iwasaki. I would love to see this duo do more together, or maybe even, you know, Gege could team up with another artist, do another kind of series. Anything. I would love to see more from Gege. He's a very talented writer when he wants to be. He's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but he does make some really, really good and compelling stuff. Awesome series. Great run. Brings us to our newest series down here, the things that have come out in the last couple months, starting with JJK Modulo. Well, this, again, it's first year, so we're talking about every chapter that has released so far. It's been really good. It's been really good, guys. I mean, very strong stuff. I'm not gonna quite put it in S yet. It's close, though. It's very close. But it's going in A. It's so close to S. I'm almost tempted to actually bring it up to S. But I won't. I can't, in good faith, put it up here with all these absolute bangers, especially because it's so new. But it's going to be a limited series. It's established author, whatever. You know, the weird stipulations with this series. It's a sequel series, yada, yada. Anyways, amazing. It's very, very good so far. I'm having a great time with it. I look forward to it every week. I'm so happy to have JJK back in my life in any capacity. I know the anime is about to come back, but having it in manga form, even though it's not Gege art, at least he's writing it, it's so cool to have it back like this again, and so soon. I didn't, if we were gonna get a sequel series at all, I would have figured it'd be years away, but here it is right now. And it's awesome. It doesn't feel rushed or anything. It's just this awesome ass story that we get to read every week, and I'm so thankful for it. Alright, so that's a wrap on my coverage of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, chapters 1 through 25, the whole journey. So what do I think about it now? It only just ended in March of this same year that we're in, 2026, so it hasn't been that long since I read it, or since I finished it, but for some of the other series we'll be covering in this, you know, series of compilations, the gap will be larger. It'll be more interesting to see what I think about them now, having been so detached from them. But in JJK Modulo's case, I thought it was great. I know a lot of people kind of went sour on it with the ending, but the ending just didn't really affect me the same way that it did other people. I thought it was totally fine. I mean, it wasn't perfect. There were things left to be desired for sure, but as just a nice little short 3-volume series, I really think it did everything it could have possibly done. It's pretty much, in my eyes, as perfect of a sequel as you can get, at least a distant sequel. I know I'm repeating myself from what I said before, you know, in the past, but my thoughts haven't really changed a whole lot. I still really think that way. I've reflected on it a lot since then, and still, I think it's great. It was a nice little series. Amazing art, like truly incredible art. JJK has a very unique art style that I also adore, but this, from Iwasaki, by the way, is also incredible. It looks stunning. Pretty much every page is amazing. All the spreads are beautiful. So high detail. It's very interesting compared to JJK, which is very low detail most of the time. So having that contrast of, pretty low detail art primary series and then an extremely high detail sequel series. It's neat, and I hope to see more things like this, honestly. I would love to see Gege work with other mangaka, other artists to create other stories in this world. It does not have to happen. I will be completely satisfied if all we get is Modulo and the original series, but man, it'd be pretty cool to get more. Even if the ending did kind of burn you a little bit, I just think it has such a strong cast of characters and such just a fun flowing story. Like it takes you on a ride. It gets you in the groove of JJK again so quickly, and then it just gives you a really fun story to experience. This will be something I reread pretty frequently once I get it physically, once it comes out here, because it's just so entertaining. Like I really think every single chapter has merit of its own. You can just read a chapter of this and you can walk away with a smile on your face. It's just a damn good series. It's so entertaining. And at the end of the day, that's manga, baby. It's just got to be entertaining, and this nails it. Obviously, that's an overgeneralization. Just being entertaining isn't the sole requirement to make a good series, but this also has substance, and it does a lot with characters that I wasn't expecting. And even if a character isn't directly included, which is most of them from JJK, they're still talked about, or you see something left behind of them that says so much about what they did in their lives or what happened to them. I know the final volume is going to feature a lot more information about characters from the series proper. Very excited to read that whenever it comes out. I wish I could talk about it now, but it's not even out in Japan yet, I don't think. I haven't heard anything, at least. Maybe it is. I don't know. Again, probably a lot of repeated points from what I said in the final chapter review, but truthfully, this is just such a great manga that I am so glad exists. I really, really want there to be more things like this. And not even just for JJK, by the way. I do want more for JJK, but I would love to see more sequel series that take this approach. Give us a distant sequel, just a little short thing to just tell us, show us what happens to the world after the events. I think it's really cool to see the lasting effects of a whole shonen series. It's not something you get, you get time skips that are this big in the final chapters of a lot of long running shonen. Like My Hero Academia does a pretty substantial time skip, not this long by any stretch of the imagination. I like that this gets a whole series of just a big long epilogue to show you where this world ended up as a result of what happened in the series proper. Because everything that happens in this is a result of what happened before that we read. I mean, not the aliens, but still indirectly, yeah, the shape of the world is because of what happened in the series, and the way that they interact with the planet and the citizens on it are a direct result of what happened in the series. And I think it's just so smart to handle a sequel like that. I really want to see more things like this in the future. It's a really good formula, and I can definitely see people copying it in the future, and for good reason. I think this is pretty much as good as you can get for a sequel to a long-running manga. So well done to both Gege and Iwasaki. I will be thinking about this series for a very long time. It left a big lasting impression on me, and I miss it to this day. I wish there was more of it, but I'm really happy at the same time that it was as short as it was, because it just got to tell a nice, concise story that left a lasting impression on a lot of people. If you're burned by the ending, I'm sorry to hear that. I just wasn't. It wasn't perfect. It did enough for me. I was fine with it. All right, thanks for watching this. If you watched the whole thing or you just watched the beginning and the end, whatever you did, thanks anyway. This is low effort content, I suppose, but I want to get this out here just because I think it's a neat idea. And it's really convenient, I think. Even if you guys don't care about it, I honestly do. I like to see my own opinions. There's a reason I record me talking about manga just outside of making a YouTube channel. I like to document things. Even before I did YouTube, I would write down or type out my thoughts on chapters every week. So it's just cool for me to be able to look back at a whole log of my thoughts and opinions on every chapter of a series. And I'm so happy I get to do that for the entire JJK sequel series. From start to finish, I covered the whole thing, and that's awesome. I just love that I have that out there for me to go back and look at. You guys probably don't think it's as cool as I do, but I like it, so doing it for me, if nothing else. So if you'd like, you can leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on this series. You can also become a channel member at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see what tier works best for you. Get things like early access to new videos, your name in the credits, emotes, and if you join at the highest tier, you get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmic 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, Dan, and The World's Worst. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.